All right, let me take you back to probably the worst day of my financial life. I was 25 and I'd just gotten my first ever, real paycheck, a little over $4,000. And I thought, yes, I finally made it. That feeling, well, it didn't last long.
And then, poof, just 22 days later, after paying rent, buying groceries, just living a pretty normal life, I checked my bank account. And this is what I saw: $47. I had managed to burn through almost an entire month's salary. I wasn't being reckless. I wasn't blowing it on crazy stuff. I was just kind of adrift.
And staring at that number, I just had this one super clear thought hit me. No, this cannot be my life for the next 40 years. This roller coaster of feeling rich one day and totally broke the next, it just wasn't going to work. So that night, I decided to stop just reacting to my money and start directing it. I built a system, a really simple, almost boring system that 5 years later grew to over $100,000. So let's break down exactly how it works.
And you know what? My story, it's not unique at all. That feeling of just watching your money vanish into thin air, it's something millions of us go through, no matter how much we make. It's what I call the 47 problem.
And this is the first big myth we gotta bust right now. The problem is almost never the size of your paycheck. Seriously, I know people earning 150 grand a year with literally nothing to show for it. And on the flip side, I know people making 45,000 who are quietly building some serious wealth. The difference isn't the money coming in, it's the system that money flows through.
And that brings us to the absolute core idea here. The problem isn't your income, it's your system. See, most of us are running a financial operating system that we never actually chose, and frankly, it's working against us. But there is another way.
Okay, so on the left you've got the default system. This is what most of us do naturally. Money comes in, you spend it, and you pay your bills, and then you try to save whatever's left over. Which, let's be honest, is usually nothing, right? Your expenses are basically designing your life for you. But now look at the right, the intentional system. This flips the whole thing on its head. Money comes in, and the very first thing you do is pay your future self. You invest first, then you live on what's left. It's the same amount of money, just a simple but totally profound change in the order of operations. So you're probably thinking, okay, great, how do I actually build this intentional system? Well, it's way simpler than you think. It's all built on just 3 core pillars that create this powerful foundation for your entire financial life.
Okay, here they are, the 3 big steps. You're going to pay yourself first, you're going to use separate accounts to keep things clear, and you're going to buy simple index funds. Let's dive into exactly how each one works.
So, Pillar 1. This is the engine of the entire system, folks. Pay yourself first. This means you treat your future goals with the same urgency as you treat your rent. And the key, the absolute magic trick, is automation. I set up an automatic transfer for 20% of my paycheck to go to an investment account the day after I got paid. That way, the money was already gone, working for me, before I could even miss it. I just learned to live on the 80% that was left. And you know what? It was surprisingly easy.
Okay, next up we need some structure, right? This is the architecture that gives you all that clarity. You have your operating account, that's for your paycheck and day-to-day life. Then you've got your emergency fund, a safety net for true emergencies only. And finally, your investment account. That's where that automated transfer goes to work and grows. So when my car decided to have let's call it a $2,800 moment, I didn't panic. I just paid for it out of the emergency fund. No stress, and it didn't mess with my investments at all. The system just worked.
All right, so you're automating your savings into an investment account. What do you actually buy? Well, this next number should be a massive, massive relief. Over the last 15 years, 94% of professional fund managers, I'm talking the experts with the PhDs and the supercomputers, failed to beat a simple market index fund.
Listen, the takeaway here is huge. Your job isn't to be some stock-picking genius or to outsmart the market. Your job is to be consistent. In personal finance, consistent beats brilliant every single time. All you need to do is own a tiny piece of the whole market and just let it do the heavy lifting for you.
And here's what that actually looks like. Super simple, right? This is my exact portfolio. Just 3 low-cost index funds. 1 for the US market, 1 for the international market, and a little bit in bonds for stability. Together, they give me a piece of pretty much every public company on the planet. I set it up once, and my automated money does the rest. Seriously, I probably spend maybe 3 hours a year thinking about my investments. That is it.
Okay, so you've got the foundation built. It's running automatically. Now, you want to know how to put this thing into hyperdrive?
This next rule is what really took my results from just slow and steady to something much faster.
It's called the lifestyle lag rule. See, here's what most people do. They get a raise, and boom, their spending immediately inflates to match it. A new car, a bigger apartment, it's called lifestyle inflation, and it's what keeps people stuck. This rule flips that script. Every time your income goes up, a raise, a bonus, whatever, you automatically invest half of that increase before you even think about spending the other half. Let's make this real. Imagine you get a $5,000 raise. Awesome, right? But instead of just spending it all, the first $2,500 goes straight to your investments. You just increase your automatic contributions. And the other half, hey, that's all yours. Go enjoy it. You still get a lifestyle upgrade, but, and this is the key, you are constantly widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is your wealth-building engine.
And this is the real secret sauce, the accelerator. You're not just getting the magic of compounding returns, you're also compounding your contributions. It's this 1-2 punch that takes you from just saving a little bit to building significant wealth way, way faster.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the system, but look, a system is totally useless until you flip the switch and turn it on. So I want to make this incredibly, incredibly simple for you to start. Right now.
But before I give you the steps, I really, really want you to hear this. That story I used to tell myself that I was just bad with money, that was the single most expensive belief I have ever had. It wasn't true for me, and I promise you it is not true for you. You haven't failed. You've just been operating without a system.
So here it is, your first move. And I don't mean tomorrow, I mean tonight. Step 1, open an investment account. You can do it with a place like Vanguard or Fidelity. It literally takes 10 minutes. Step 2, set up a single automated transfer for $50. $50, that's it. Don't overthink it, don't try to get it perfect, just start the machine. The habit is infinitely more important than the amount.
You know, 5 years ago, my bank account told a story of pure anxiety and feeling stuck. Today, it tells a completely different story, one of freedom, of choice. By taking one tiny action tonight, you can start rewriting your own story. So, what do you want yours to be?